Hey y'all, welcome to the Hat Creek Homestead. Today we're going to be making pickles, and here we're washing our cucumbers off. We've already sterilized our jars, and we have our lids and our rings boiling. And so here we're going to just chop the cucumbers up and put them into the jars. And you see my mother-in-law's hands there. And then here you see myself chopping up some cucumbers and putting them into the jars. And everyone uses their knives differently. I may not do it the best way or the safest way, but I do it the way that works the best for me. And there's no really wrong way to do it, I guess, except for here you'll see in a minute I'll show you where you have to make sure that your cucumbers, when you cut them, fit into the jar where it leaves a head space. If your cucumbers are taller than where your head space is going to be for your brine, here, like right there, your jars won't seal. So here I'm going to take these out and I'm going to trim them and then pack them back into the jar so we make sure we get a good seal, because we don't want to ruin all of our hard work on our pickles. So we're just going to trim the ends of these off, and then I just add them into the other pickle jars. I do some spears and some cucumber and some slices for like hamburger pickles. And so we're just going to put these back in the jar here and make sure that we leave enough room for our headspace for our brine so our jars seal well when we can them. So we don't use our own homemade recipe for this. There are a ton of different recipes, but we use this Mrs. Wage's Kosher Dill Pickles, and this is the recipe here on the back. And this is what I use. I like the way that it tastes, and my kids like it. And so this is just mixing up the brine. It's vinegar and water. It's 7 cups of water, 3 1/3 cups of vinegar, and then you put the mix in and you just stir the mix until it's dissolved, and then you boil it on the stove till it comes to a medium rolling boil. And so here you just see me putting it in. And for us, one package does 4 quarts of pickles. So our brine has come to a boil, and we're just stirring it. And once it comes to a medium boil, you remove it from the heat, and then you can add it to your jars. So here we've got our brine, and we're just adding it to our jars. And so you want to add enough, and we do ours just to the bottom of the lip of the jar, so we leave a head space. Here we're continuing to put the brine into the pickle jars, and sometimes you'll have a few that float to the top. You have all your brine in your jars. You take your lids and you put them on your rings, but before you do that, you always want to wipe off the very top of your jar. Check for burrs, or make sure that there's no chips in your glass, and just make sure that it's dry so you get a good seal. You put these lid's on, and then you just screw the rings down to finger tight, and then we will put them in the water bath. You also want to be really careful and make sure you don't cross-thread your jars, because if they're not screwed on correctly, it can cause a failure in the seal. After you have all your rings and your lids on, then we're going to walk these over and we're going to put these into the water bath canner. Here you just see us making sure that the rings are tight, and you want to make sure that this is level, and then you're going to put these in here. Once you get all your jars in there, then you're going to lower it down into the water, and then you want to make sure that you have enough water in the canner to cover your jars. And then you just let it set until it comes to a rolling boil. And once it comes to a boil, then you set a timer for 15 minutes. And after it has boiled for 15 minutes, then you can take your jars out. And after they come out, there you go, homemade pickles. This batch made 11 quarts of pickles. Here is a short video of some green beans that my mother-in-law had canned before we got over this afternoon. And so I hope you enjoyed our video today on how to can pickles. If you haven't, please subscribe to our channel. Hit the like button and the notification bell, and please share our videos. And as always, have a blessed day from the Hat Creek Homestead.